Hi guys, we're recording now. I don't know why I keep getting kicked out of this webinar, but I'm going to try again. So my name is Linsday McCrary. I work at Shorehaven, and I'm going to talk about students getting into Follet Destiny through a different way called Destiny Discover, which is a little more user-friendly for kids. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to share this screen with you. And I'm going to hope that I don't get kicked out again. Okay, so I'm presenting to everyone. And what I want to talk a little bit about is how kids get into the Ready Hub. They use their student apps menu on their Chromebooks, and they can find Ready Hub and get into the library catalog that way. I've tried several times this morning, and there's some sort of glitch with it. So I'm not going to go through Ready Hub because it keeps telling me Ready Hub's not available. So students also have the library media services under their student app. So that's the way I'm going to go in. I'm going to find my school. And depending on if you've logged in before, you may not even have to go through these steps. Sometimes it saves your information. I'm going to go ahead and log on as myself. Students would click the blue rectangle to log on. But basically, the student interface and the staff interface is kind of the same for what I'm going to show you. So typically students search this way for their items, but it's not very user-friendly for like elementary school. Middle school, high school, sure, but when a student's looking for books on Follet Destiny, like let's just do like a basketball search. It's kind of like geared more for older kids. They have to look over here, and sometimes they get confused about is one of one is available or 0 of 1, or they just look over here and they're like, oh, I want this, and then I help them go find it, or they find it themselves and it's not there because they didn't really look at whether or not it's in or not, and it's just kind of waste time and makes them kind of disappointed. Also, the call number information is kind of small, and then for putting books on hold, which kids like to do. They like to reserve books that maybe aren't in or that they want next time. It's a little more confusing. But the new way, Destiny Discover, makes it a little bit easier for students. So students, instead of searching from this bar, they're going to go to the tab that says Destiny Discover, and it pulls up a colorful, more user-friendly way to look for books. It's just more fun. It's more updated. It gives you lots of different options, and we're going to go through those options right now. All right. So when they're logged on, like through the blue rectangle through Ready Hub, their name will pop up here. A lot of times students don't have time during their library session each week to sit down and really look for books. So this is great for students who have time in the classroom or who think of something. They have their Chromebooks in front of them. They can just pop on the Ready Hub, get in to the library catalog, and just start looking for books. So that's what's great about it. So at the top, we have the recently added books. So things that have just been added to the collection. You can scroll and look. It makes it a lot easier to see whether something's in or out. So instead of the 0 of 1 or 1 of 1 or 1 of 2, which can get a little bit confusing to elementary, you have a simple in and a simple out. So that's what I really like about this. You have a nice big image of what's available. You can open up the tab and read a little bit about it in a nice, beautiful interface. If it's something that a student might want to save for later, or like a book, hey, I really like this book. I want to maybe get this sometime the next time I'm at the library. They can give it a favorite, like give it a little heart, and it saves it for them in a little folder, so that next time they're like, hey, what books did I like? Okay, they can look in their little favorites folder. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Add a collection, we're not going to really go into that because that's something more like I've seen teachers use, like to build a little collection of books that they want to maybe have the librarian pull for them, or like come into the library and get for themselves. So we're going to close that out. So we've got the recently added books. We've got the most popular titles, the ones that are checked out most frequently. What's in, what's out. It kind of gives a mix of Spanish and English. Okay. Then we have this kind of genre search, which you don't really have unless you really kind of know how to type in what you're looking for on the other catalog. But this is just ready-built genres for the students to look through. So like you can say, you know, librarians get a lot of, where are the scary stories? Well, the scary stories are kind of everywhere because that's how the library's set up, but they can search by genre and get results that way. So they can look at all of them, and they're just, you know, they're all over the library in different places. Sometimes there's nonfiction scary, like spooky stuff in the 300s, or sometimes there's fiction that's scary, that's like a chapter book. And then other times there's like spooky little picture books. So they're all over the library. But this shows them what's in and what's out in a nice, beautiful interface. They can search in a card view, or they can do kind of this list view, which makes the images bigger. So what's pretty cool is that putting a book on hold is easier. So if a student sees something, say they're in their classroom, they're looking around on Destiny, they can open up the book, they can hold it right then and there with just this hold button. It's so much easier than the other interface. So this is really geared towards elementary kids and middle school too. All you do is click hold. The book has been put on hold. The librarian received the request. So they can do holds very, very simply in this interface. Okay, I'm going to use this little bar up here, and I'm going to go back to home. So we've seen recently added, we've seen popular titles, we've seen the different genres. Now we're going to look at some of the ebooks. So yes, Garland has Myon, and students go to Myon all the time to look for books. They find that link through the Ready Hub, that little app. There's a few selections of ebooks on Destiny Discover. And you can tell the difference between an ebook and a digital book, an ebook, digital book, and a regular book. This is just like a little library book. It just says in or out, little library book. The digital books have that little Follet Destiny symbol on the inside. So that's kind of a little digital symbol that they know, hey, this is not a book that I'm going to find in the library on the shelves. This is a digital book that I can read. So you can see that you can just open them, or you can check them out, which like puts them on your name. If you're just wanting to read it right then and there, you can just open it up. You don't really have to check it out. And then the book kind of opens up right then and there, and you can read it right off your screen. This is a football book, so it's loading up. Let's see what this one looks like. There we go. Okay, so you can just flip the pages. Read it this way. This one's going a little slow. I've seen them go faster. I don't know why it's kind of hung up right now, but basically you get the idea. So there's a collection of books. You can close it out here or close the book here. All right, now we're back in the interface. Audiobooks, we really don't have very many, as you can see. And so I'm not even going to really talk about that. Interactive books. So the little icon for interactive books is this arrow. And this is kind of more like the Myon situation, where it can read to you. So like you could open one of these up. I'm going to open up this interactive book, and it has like it has a voiceover. So here's the buttons for all the different things you can do to make it interactive. You can flip through the book, and it has a beautiful interface. It looks like a little book. So it reads out loud. All right. So you could also do autoplay to where it just automatically reads it to you, or you can make your choices. Like if you want to read some to yourself or press the arrow and have it read to you, you can do that. So I'm going to go out of interactive. All right, so those are really the main features of this interface called Destiny Discover. Like I said, this collection tabs, we're not going to go into that because students really aren't going to be building a collection. They're just going to be either like making things their favorite. They're going to be making things their favorite, or they're going to be putting books on hold or just kind of searching. But having this genre feature is going to eliminate a lot of like, where is this? Where is that? They can write down, they can save it to their favorites, and then they can come to the library and we can quickly find what they're looking for. So I hope everybody enjoyed this webinar. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen, and then I'm going to go ahead and stop recording and presenting, and I hope everyone has a great day. Thanks for listening.